Hexa nudged at Bethany's hand, and Jamie smiled. Getting this woman to trust him would have everything to do with his dog. "Does she like to play fetch?" Bethany asked. Jamie nodded. "Do you mind if I take her down to the beach while you get settled in?" Jamie pondered that for a minute. He wanted to join her on the beach, but he thought it would be best to give her some space. Let her attach to Hexa first. "Sure. I'm going to unpack and order a new bed." Bethany headed into the kitchen with Hexa on her heels. She moved gracefully, with every step deliberate. For someone so insecure with people, or maybe just men, she moved confidently. He waited until the door shut and then went into his room. He sat on the bed and sighed. There was no way he could sleep on that thing. He pulled out his phone and sized up the room. "Room is maybe 20 by 15. Pay whatever it takes to get a bed here by 8. 2 beats later, Claudia responded. "Ceiling height? Also, that's only 2 hours. Approximately 12 feet. I know you can work your magic. You once furnished an entire set in 30 minutes. 2 hours is nothing." "It is when you're 800 miles away. When are you coming back to New York?" "Dunno. A few months maybe. Settling in for the long haul, so make it a good bed." "Got it, boss. Getting on it now. Send me a few more pics of the room. Make them good." He chuckled. Make them good. Of course he would. He snapped a few, making sure the colors stood out. Jamie knew he wouldn't hear from her again. Once she got to work, she got to work. She was brilliant at what she did, with a fantastic eye for design. He'd never been disappointed when she designed sets. Her eye was almost as good as his. He plopped one of his suitcases on his bed and hung up his shirts. The closet was empty. Maybe Bethany had cleaned it out for him, or maybe it'd been that way for a while. He wasn't sure how long he'd be there. He had paid for 6 months, but the actual visit could be over in as little as 2 months, or stretch on for years. His son, Garrett, had been born 6 years ago, not far from here. He found that out from his PI, who he'd tasked with getting any information he could on the boy. Which wasn't much. A few photos, a birth date, a mother who wouldn't return his calls. Jamie had been surprised as hell when he got a call from his buddy Blake, who told him he'd run into Zoe at a park in South Carolina, and she was sporting a tow-headed little boy with his eyes. Once he had a picture from the PI and a birth date, the truth slammed into him. Garrett was definitely his son, unless Zoe was sleeping around on him when they dated, but she didn't seem like the type. Plus, like Blake said, Garrett looked like him. He couldn't figure out why Zoe never said anything. She knew he had money, and she could have easily milked him for it, which would have sucked, but it would have been better than what she actually did. For 6 years, he had a son and didn't even know it. He'd missed crucial bonding years and milestones with this boy. He'd stay here as long as it took to make sure Garrett knew he was his father and they had a relationship. Even if he didn't stay in Charleston permanently, he'd come and visit at least once a month. Though, after seeing the conditions they were living in, he might need to push for more than visitation, joint or even full custody. He could give Garrett a better life than Zoe for sure. He'd have to talk to his attorney about his options. He finished putting up his clothes and headed out to join Bethany and Hexa down on the beach. He grabbed his phone because his big camera was too bulky. He didn't even bother with shoes. The view from the veranda was incredible. The ocean went on forever, and the white beach below was empty except for Bethany and Hexa. The stairs down to the beach were sandy and worn. If he ever got to the point where he had a house here, he wanted one like this. Bethany was staring out into the sea when he plopped down next to her. She looked up at him in surprise, then immediately focused on Hexa.